Hello, everybody. This is Maxine Taylor with my August 2020 astrological overview for the entire month for all of you. And we have some very interesting planetary positions this month. First of all you great, grand, glorious Leos who have been basking in the sunlight of your own sign. The sun will remain in Leo until the 22nd. And you know, Leo is a sign of fun and enjoyment. And it's no wonder that everybody wants to get out on the beaches and party and socialize and have fun, because that is Leo, all about fun and games. Oh my goodness, all those sports fans who have just been clamoring for any sense of sportsmanlike competition. So everything's moving along until the 22nd. And then the sun moves into what else could go wrong? Let me cross those T's and dot those I's. Virgo. Virgo is the worrier of the zodiac. And it knows, those of you who are Virgos or have a Virgo ascendant, remember to read my reports from the standpoint of what your sun sign is and your rising sign. Read both, okay? Because they're equally powerful. So getting back to Virgo. When you wake up in the morning, Virgo, if you have nothing to worry about, you're worried because you know that the other shoe is going to drop. You know there's always going to be a problem. And this is where you shine, because you love solving problems and you cross those T's and dot those I's. And the greatest thing for you is for somebody to say, I need your help, because that translates as, I love you. Now, Virgo is the sign of work, service, and health. And I don't have to remind anybody here about what's going on worldwide with the COVID virus. So, are we going to be concentrating more on our work? Oh, yes. How about our health? Definitely. And that is going to, the way it manifests is going to depend on the unique and individual Virgo. So look, everybody, look in your birth chart and see where Leo falls, where the sun is. Because on the 22nd, it moves into Virgo. And you might say, well, the house where where the sun is moving doesn't contain any planets. That's okay. As the sun moves through it, it brings life to that area. I hope this makes sense to you. Okay, Venus, the planet of love and beauty and everything that's beautiful and sweet. Venus rules sugar. I've noticed that during this pandemic, a lot of people have put on weight because they have turned to the comfort of sugar or foods that produce a lot of sugar in the bloodstream, because we want to be happy. And that's Venus also, the lesser benefic. Well, it's been in Gemini, which means everybody's enjoyed talking to each other and communicating and just having a wonderful time. On the 7th, Venus moves into sensitive, intuitive, psychic sponge. I love my home and family, nurturing Cancer. And Venus, wherever it is in your chart now, moving around, the transiting Venus, that is where it brings love. So find the house in which you have Cancer on the cusp. On the 7th, when Venus enters Cancer, you will start feeling it. We will all start feeling it. You don't even need to have planets in early Cancer to feel it. And it's a time of love of home and family and enjoyment. Traditionally, I think this has been a time when children have gone back to school. Of course, everything's all confused now about even if they're going back or the teachers are going back. And there will be more love of home, so there may be more people sheltering in place, helping their children from home. Okay. Then Mercury, communication, transportation, our mouth and our minds, wherever Mercury is, it is more an eye opener. You start thinking about it. So find where Mercury is in your chart now. It's in Cancer. But on the 4th of August, it moves into Leo. Great, grand, glorious Leo. Excuse me, Leos. I have to introduce you with those adjectives. And we move then from thinking about our home and putting our attention on our family to our children and probably their schooling. Our fun. So sports are still on the calendar, sports fans. They're not going anywhere. We must have fun. It's what gets us through. And so Mercury races through great, grand, glorious Leo until on the 19th, it moves into Virgo, which it rules. Mercury rules both Virgo and Gemini. And so here it is in Virgo with the conscious mind working overtime, crossing those T's, dotting those I's, making sure that every detail is taken care of. And last but not least, we have Mars in its own sign, Aries. And there's been a lot of energy released lately, which I have felt, and many of you have too. Find Mars. Find where Aries is in your birth chart, because Mars is in the shadow of the retrograde Mars. Every planet has a shadow before it goes retrograde and after it comes out of retrograde and goes direct. Even the heavy planets. The only two planets that don't ever go retrograde are the sun and the moon. They do not move backwards. And the truth is, none of them move backwards. They only appear to move backwards because of our vantage point here on planet Earth. So Mars is in the shadow of the retrograde. And of course, that's next month in September, on the 10th. I had to check my notes. On the 10th. And the closer we get to the retrograde, the more we're going to feel it. And when Mars goes retrograde, there's no energy. Nothing happens. Nothing, honey, nothing. And so, of course, I'm getting ahead of myself, but Mercury will also be in the shadow of the retrograde at that point in time because it's getting ready for its very last retrograde cycle. Mercury goes retrograde 3 times a year. Doesn't that explain a lot? Doesn't it reassure you that you're not crazy? It's too easy to forget and just need to make lists of things when Mercury's retrograde. Yes. Okay. So that's the overview. Now, we've got a full moon on the 3rd in 11 Aquarius 46. On the full moon, everything comes to a head and goes pop. The full moon is 11:59 a.m. Let's call it noon. Eastern Daylight Time. So convert that to your time zone. I'm going to be posting my virtual full moon ceremony a couple of days before that, like tomorrow or Sunday. God, everything's moving so quickly. Okay, we'll have our full moon, virtual full moon ceremony. And for those of you who have not attended, I give you beautiful techniques for moving into the light, being the light, and expressing the light that you are. There is no charge. Um, it is virtual, online. It's on my YouTube channel. Okay, so we're all talking about the full moon. Find 11 Aquarius, 46 minutes, 11 degrees, 46 minutes of Aquarius in your birth chart. Find the house in which it falls. That's the biggie. And that is where things will come to a head. Okay? You might say, well, is that good or bad? It's neither. It brings things to a head. I tend to see everything as positive. Even the most horrible situation contains a gift when we're ready to receive it. And sometimes that does take a while because many of the events in our lives recently have been unthinkable. Okay, 2 weeks later, we have a new moon on August 18th. It's in 26 Leo 35. Now, 26 degrees, 35 minutes of Leo. On the new moon, things start growing. Energy starts growing. Find the end of Leo. You can call it 27 Leo and round it up if you want to. Find where that is in your birth chart because that is where the energy will start moving. One more time. Yes, 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 yes. So those are our lunations. Again, if you'd like to watch my virtual full moon ceremony, and everybody around the world is invited, just go to my YouTube channel, Maxine Taylor Astrologer, and you'll see it there. I'll put a message up on Facebook and Twitter. And for those of you who are astrology students, if you have not bought, now that I've cast it, what do I do with it? You might find it very helpful in interpreting your birth chart. And if I have not yet done your own personal forecast for you, you might want that. Because the way things are going, we all want our own personal roadmap. Many months ago, when I started describing how everything was going to be this year, 2020, I said, we won't know who to believe. And that came to me very clearly. Please don't ask me what astrological aspect it was that gave me that. I'm an empath and I just feel it, okay? And many of you are empaths and you know exactly what I'm talking about. So the only drawback with being an empath is you can't go to the mall because it drains you. You can't be with negative people because they drain you, but what are you gonna do? Okay, so if I have not done your forecast, you might want me to do it for you. Just go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com. Select the reading you would like and order it. My wait time now is between a week and 10 days, but sometimes I get caught up. And I always let you know ahead of time when your video forecast is on the way to you. So, dear, dear friends, so many of you I have yet to meet. And every month, of course, you are invited to watch your own personal forecast, which I hope you'll stick around and do. So till we meet again, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours. Bye for now.